will, I imagine, see it on this occasion.
I do think so. Lapis and Zemmol, they know each other so well. I see them like talking to each other in the player camps too, which is just lovely. These guys are definitely friends. I don't know what they're doing.
Talk is cheap. Say your words, King.
Absolutely. So we're gonna see the Ryu versus the Ike. Oh wait, no, I am dumb. Hold up. It wasn't Lapis and Zemmol. It was Zemmol and Folkelche that keep like talking to each other. And are very good
I'm
friends.
sure they're friends anyway. They play
sure these
Super
guys
Smash
get
Bros.
along.
Ultimate. They're here in person.
Absolutely. I was thinking of like the doubles team, but that's Zemmol and Folkelche. Anyway, I don't think if Folkelche is even here, so the Ike might be specifically for him. For the people that don't know, for Folkelche, Ike main in the Netherlands. I think solo main, not entirely sure, but not relevant right now.
Yeah, for now you've got to fight with Ryu, but again, if you can play Ryu, you can play Ken. If you can play Ken, you can play Ryu. They're not so non-transferable that the game plan falls apart. You can still focus attack. It's going to work exactly the same. But Ike not really having much of a way around that. Such a single hit-based character. Oh, well, that's not the recovery, is it?
Nah, it's not. I don't think you could have made that back. I don't know if he had a jump, actually. If he had a jump, then he definitely could have, but it didn't look like it.
So instead, just, yep, I'm going to grab you, and I'm nearly going to get reversed. Imagine if you died at 0 for attempting a grab.
Yeah, I can't imagine it. It has happened to me.
Yep, same.
Sometimes this character has a little bit of cheating moves, and if Zemmol gets some type of setup where he can get like a forward air or an air into that up B off stage, he's going to go for it. And Lapis is going to die for it, but not going to get that quite yet.
Counter again? Yep,
Counter
that's
again,
almost certainly it.
that gonna be it?
No, not quite. Oh, yes, it was.
Just barely.
Tell you what, I wouldn't have backed off in that scenario. I think, yeah, you probably did need to make sure. That might have even been a missed timing from Zemmol. It may have been possible to recover.
I think so, yeah. I feel like if he delayed that by like a picosecond, he could have made it back. But only by a picosecond, because otherwise he wouldn't know.
Teaching me a new words. That's what they say about the Dutch. They speak English so well that we can learn from them.
Oh,
Picosecond.
Oh, that's like a...
Maths majors.
That's just a smaller...
Cloud's jab just outranged Roy's. Roy's famous for having like a contender for the best jab in the game because of what you can get off of it. But Cloud says, you know what, mine's not bad either.
Yeah, I have a big foot. Sure. Oh, that's it.
Whoa. Don't be doing that.
Yeah, I feel like Zemmol might have died if Lapis did you let that go.
Once again, we're seeing cheating cheeser up Bs getting attempted, but they're not. We're not going to get any kills at 0 from Zemmol on this. He's actually been so desperate for it at times. I remember in his set against me, he killed himself going for an up B that missed, but instead gonna get the successful KO against Lapis. Now down to the Ken. On this last stock, Zemmol is holding firm against the Street Fighter characters. Oh, but Clem hasn't interrupted, and now that's going to be it.
I feel like all of the hits that Ken has on his different moves are all like, either they send you to the blast zone immediately, or they send you literally nowhere.
So critical, by the way, that Zemmol held back on Bowser's side B there, because if you went off stage, then you die first, and you've thrown the set at that point. So thankfully he was holding all the way back to just get damage on the board. Things are going better and better right now. We're actually seeing the Bowser, the former main, and it is, at the moment, destroying Lapis. But when you're that large, you can fall into some Shoto combos at any time.
Probably jumping out, being used to the Ryu side B there. A very common mistake, but getting closed out with their own side B right afterwards.
Very good. So, all right, Zemmol with game number 1. We're still in best of 5 territory because this is the other winners semi-finals. So
they went a random stage before, and now they're going to go back to the exact same one.
Sounds like somebody doesn't remember where their song of choice is. Well, we're getting against Castle. Cool.
Nice. Good choice. I don't know many songs either. I usually don't I don't really like counter pick songs generally because I usually play with the sound off. I don't know why I just outed myself like that.
Well, in that case, if we ever have a set, then I'm going straight for the final boss theme from Miitopia. That's my choice whenever it's unlocked.
Anyone could do that.
The Darkest Lord.
I'm a little bit surprised to still see like the Ryu from Lapis, because I don't think I've seen the Ryu outside of Squad Strike. I know that it's a very similar character to Ken, but Ken fits him much more. And he does still have the Daisy in the back pocket, which I feel like does pretty well against most
At the end of the day, it seems very deliberate in the order that the Ryu is coming out first. Deal with your worst Shoto first, and then afterwards you can wax lyrical with Ken. So Ken being saved for the last spot every time.
Yeah,
But now he's got to deal with Zemmol Cloud straight away.
Yeah, for sure. Now going for the full. Wait, what's that move called again?
The double edge dance. It's
no.
not Dancing Blade, but double edge.
The cloud one.
Oh, cross slash.
Cross slash. I'm stupid. Cool. I was thinking climb hazards. I forgot. But yeah.
I'm sure we'll see a climb hazard in a couple of seconds. Go on, give us one now. I dare you. Promise. Okay, maybe not when you've got
Make it be the kill move with up B, I bet. But yeah, going for some more neutral. Ooh.
Uh-oh!
Running in head first. And it working out. The
Two moves from Roy in a row just not working. No sweet spot on the double edge dance and no counter hit either. Zemmol just getting by on a wing and a prayer right now, and the back hit of the Nair that he's so good at hitting is carrying once again.
Nair is such a good move. I keep thinking, like, how does that hit anywhere close to where the sword is, but it is starts behind him.
So
That's
now, I think that was an adaptation on the fly, saying, okay, for the third hit, I don't want to knock Zemmol out of the sweet spot again, so I'm going to do the third hit up, and then I'm going to secure the bag with the move that is stronger than Limit Cross Slash.
Absolutely.
Deal with that, Zemmol. Sorry, Roy's just better, I guess, in at least one regard.
At least
up till
Bowser immediately closing out that first stock, bringing out the Ryu. Let's see what it has in store.
It's going to be getting comboed at the minute. Yeah, Bowser's Nair is a really good answer to Ryu as well. It's always going to try and land with focus attack, but the Flame Breath is the other one to deal with focus attack landings. Bowser has plenty enough multi-hits to deal with that, just jumping away from the focus attack. So I laugh at your focus attack. I can deal with it at any time. You can even side B and just command grab them out of it.
I want to say the Nair is also just a really nice combo ender, considering. Oh wow.
The recoveries have not been it from Lapis at all. Like on Ryu specifically. Whoa, okay, steady on. Trying to deal with a 39% kill just to say I really want to be back in this.
Kill. Every single one of his characters has like one of those SD moves, and he's gonna try to go for it. If you give him the chance, that side B is gonna come out. He's gonna try to take you off stage, but at this percent, probably not gonna happen. Don't go off stage.
Nevertheless, as you said, the Ken definitely doing a lot better than the Ryu has been all the way through. And
that's
heavy jab, or I think it's heavy jab.
Probably.
It's going to do the job.
I couldn't correct you if I tried.
Street Fighter, that's a game that we play.
Yeah, definitely.
You've got me worried about these recoveries, Lapis. I trust you, I promise, but that was a very unusual way. The flame-free Shoryuken from Ken, a big rarity.
Ooh, just barely able to SDI out of getting hit by that move. Or at least I think that was SDI. I always want to assume that it's SDI because then the player seems more skilled.
But you know what? We've got Ike versus Ken once again, and Ike does have that problem of very few multi-hits to deal with focus attack. Ether is one of the main multi-hits, but it's way too much of a commitment in this scenario. You might actually lose this game out of that situation.
That wasn't quite it. Not getting the spike there. Still in a very scary situation, being edge-guarded by Ken.
No way!
Not getting the hits. That would have been the game, but instead, getting another ledge trap situation is Lapis.
Saving the double jump, I really like it. Too many Shoryus for one day from Lapis.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
That was so smart. That was so. I would have never gone for that because I would have been too scared. But Lapis being like, no, a strong hit of my up B, die.
If you spike me, I land on stage. If I hit you with Shoryu, you perish.
Yeah.
So that's
I think that's a good trade.
For the right to fight Tarek, and it's very much an unpredictable one. Like I could even have a look at the seeds for these players potentially and see who is more favored.
Zemmel's definitely the favorite. Zemmol was top seed of his pool, and Lapis had to make an upset to get here. However, Lapis is also very good.
True.
Yeah. I believe Lapis wasn't on the PR. I could be very wrong about that, but I think he just didn't attend enough. But he definitely would have been on the PR were it not for that.
Over on loser's side, we also have an actual egg. Ezra taking a 2-1 over Selkie, so that's it for Ireland just shortly before top 8. Lucha Litten versus Ezra will be taking place in a Dutch-German clash. The Dutch Dio also 3-0ing V-System, Kazuya Mishima.
Wow. Okay, the Dutch Dio is like a name that I should be aware of, because I've seen them around a lot in the Dutch Discord, but I haven't played against them yet. And this is the first time that I saw his face in real life, I'm pretty sure as well.
So for now, we have the 1-1 of Lapis, Zemmol, nice and even. I think a change of collars for Ken as well might make the teeny weeniest difference, you never know.
Yeah, the colors for a lot of characters don't like make a lot of difference, or at least the ones on screen, I feel.
Oh, not more finishing touch. Right, this is a thing about Zemmol when he's feeling himself. I don't want to keep referring back to my set because it's like so far back in his run, but Zemmol attempted a finishing touch 3 times against me and is now doing it again and losing the stock as a result. Felt himself just a little too much and now your stock is gone. The finishing touches have to go, pal.
Yeah, finishing touch is only a move you can go for if you're very, very confident that you're going to hit it. Zemmol just a little bit overconfident that time, but still able to get this ledge trap with Bowser, get that forward air in.
But now you've just got to deal with the Street Fighter Brigade. Like,
yeah.
For as long as you're allowed to use both in Squad Strike, controversial as it may be, it's up to you to deal with it.
Yeah.
And Bowser is doing magnificently at that job with, again, those multi-hit nairs, the huge pivot grab. Ryu is eating dirt right now. But not much longer, oh dear. That didn't feel like the strongest Shoryuken it could have been. I think that was maybe just a B input. The backer will do it instead.
That might have been just a B input, but
Oh,
Jesus! That immediately closed it out.
Bye! See ya! Now we've got Ike versus the true main in Ken. So I'm willing to call this the secondary of Zemmol, even if Bowser's maybe a bit more well-known on his part. But it's the same thing I've said in all 3 games. Focus attack has been kind of written off by Lapis. I haven't seen much of it, but I think when you're against Ike, it's probably going to come back soon.
Yeah, probably. I do like...
oh no! Not killing! Ether! Ether could have done it! Instead goes for the recovery!
That was so scary. I literally froze up.
Yeah. You had a split second of, do I recover or do I get the kill?
Yeah.
And hope it does kill first. Like, Ike is always meant to get the kill first with Ether, but when you're that low down, I'm not going to take it as a guarantee.
I feel like it kills earlier, like, when you're further down. So I feel like that would definitely win the game for him. But it's not worth going for in case you miss.
But you have another scenario instead,
yeah,
no tech, and you're just going to bounce off the side of Pokemon Stadium 2. Zemmol laughing about it in the face cam. It's like, maybe I should have gone for that all or nothing Ether instead of recovering, huh?
Yeah, or maybe you should have gone for the second one.
That's the thing, though. It seemed like the right decision at the time, because after making that recovery, Ike was zooming, making the comeback happen, but then just kind of got cheesed by a little bit of an accidental offstage scenario.
If the Ether was turned around in midair, then that might have, like, that would have been the game. But you don't want to do that because then you can't recover.
So now Zemmol having a think. Bowser's locked in. Maybe it's the Ike now that is getting reconsidered.
Yeah.
Which makes sense given how the past couple of Ike encounters have gone.
He might be very confident with the Ike, considering his training partner for which is that Ike main, and probably has just learned a whole lot from the Ike. But maybe having a little bit of doubts, maybe. Not entirely sure. It is being hovered over right now, so I would assume
Ike.
that is what we're going with.
How do you spell Ike? I-K-E. There you go. It is locked in. I'm sure there's going to be no doubts about the Cloud. Cloud did kind of get washed in the last game, but it's still your main at the end of the day.
That's true. Don't give us the
Okay, Zemmol.
I've personally played against this youngling once in my life. No. What are you doing? Unless you're having a bad day that day, which is very possible.
Yeah.
I mean, if it puts in the work right now, I'll eat my words.
It is a manual way to say I will not finishing touch in this set.
True.
That's one thing I can say to the Younglings' credit, but maybe we'll have a bit more. It's in the middle slot, and it's generally okay against Shotos. Like, you can just wall them out with projectiles. They've got to find their way in. So I don't necessarily disagree with Younglink as a character choice. Maybe it's a little iffy if, as you say, it's not as good. But we'll find that out later. It's good for this matchup, but substituting out your actual main in Cloud is surprising, to say the least.
Definitely.
No DK either. Zemmol was using that earlier, but no more.
Do you want to use DK against fucking
Absolutely
Kennedy?
not. No shot, but...
I was about to say, because like I would have liked to see it, but also, no, ew, you cannot do that.
Well, right now it's the Bowser that's not carrying weight at the moment. We were so close to Zemmol going 2-0 up at the start of this as well.
Still carry some weight. This is not kill percent yet.
Yeah, game 2 was a huge comeback from Lapis, but ever since then, it has been all in the favor of Lapis getting yet another upset potentially.
Ooh, going for the side B there, not quite able to get it. That might be worth going for the SD at this point for Zemmol. Like, try to go for the Bowser offset. Ooh.
That could have been it, you know, the failed counter. I'm going to grab you with side B and we're both going to die.
Yeah,
wasn't on Zemmol's mind, granted, so we will return to stage, but it's funny that you mentioned that right before the optimal scenario. Instead, I want to do some recoil damage to myself. Why F smash when I could bring myself up to 100%?
Yeah!
Hiya!
Yeah! That's funny and
it's funny. It's even
optimal.
1v1 multiplayer. It did 12% of recoil. You could have F smashed, but giving us some content.
Love to see it. And now let's see this Youngling. See if it like dies before Roy does.
Yeah,
then
that's the thing. I feel like the Youngling was brought in to counter the Shotos, and it's not getting the chance. Right now, it's got to take the stock off of Roy before we even get to see it. Don't do that though.
Getting like the full damage on that that dancing blade, not dancing blade. What was it?
Double-edged dance.
Double-edged dance. Yes.
You don't have to know that. Roy side B is a universal language, and the forward throw is gonna kick him out of there. Right. Now we get to see it. Youngling versus Ryu. I think this was the purpose. I'm interested to see how we work with that. If you're gonna spin attack like that, pretty badly so far, but doesn't get punished. Now this is getting better.
This is definitely getting a little bit better. Damage is racking up slowly but surely. Zemmol's just okay with standing on the other side. Oh, okay. I definitely thought that was going to dunk him off stage.
That is like the most shared thing between most of the fighting game characters in this game. Just that funny angle spike. Kazuya with the nair and then Terry, Ken, and Ryu with the down air. No other normal character could spike at that kind of angle most of the time, but they all just reliably share that, and they also share broken up Bs.
Absolutely.
And Shoryuken is going to deal with the Youngling.
I feel like there is a character that also has a spike like that, but I don't quite remember. Like Mario sends forward as well. But it's not quite the same. But yeah, the Youngling didn't do any work, and I will not eat my words.
Oh well, it didn't look that bad. Like.
Oh yeah, it didn't look terrible, that's true. But not enough quite to do that much damage to the Ryu, but maybe enough for the Ike to be able to close it out.
Where are you focusing? I am focusing on my train home here to the skies. Well, never mind. It doesn't go unpunished because it was such a unexpected option. Wait.
Why?
A roll read is the generous way to call that. Bye.
All right. That did close it out. Hopefully we'll see some good gameplay from this Ken. I hope not to see any more.
This time my focus attack is a kick instead of a punch.
Yeah.
This time I might even do it the right way round.
It has less range and probably is just going to be cancelled.
Both of the ones that missed were out of range anyway. I think they had to be a run-in read if they were going to be faced the right way. But either way, all a bit questionable. Doesn't matter. You just won the set. Lapis moving on to winners finals against Tarek.